The summer is packed with international football tournaments, and the Olympic Games are right around the corner. But how does Olympic football differ from other competitions? And which players can we expect to see going for gold at Paris 2024? Hello and welcome to Football Now. As the jam-packed summer of international football continues, all eyes are turning to Paris for the next instalment. Yes, the French capital is hosting the 2024 Olympic Games and football is very much on the agenda. However, unlike some other tournaments that we've seen this summer, Olympic football works a little differently. Let's take a look at what you need to know. 16 teams compete in the men's competition at the Olympic Games, and the squad rules are unique. It is effectively an under-23 tournament, with each nation only allowed to have 3 senior players in their team. Aside from the hosts, no nation is guaranteed a spot at the tournament. This creates a scenario where some of the world's footballing superpowers fail to qualify, while some less famous names feature instead.
It's a very interesting sort of concept, especially when it's sort of largely an under-23 tournament. You have a small handful, I think it's 3 overage players that you can take to sort of complement that. And obviously it's like a condensed kind of mini tournament where you do still have the group stage, but the latter stages, they're a bit smaller than a usual competition. And I think, you know, there's something different about representing your country potentially for an Olympic gold medal. The possibility, certainly for a country like France, for example, as hosts, for some of those players to win gold, it's like a once in a career opportunity, and some players don't even get that opportunity throughout the course of their career. So I think specific to France as well, coming into this summer, a lot of these players are looking at this as the opportunity of a lifetime. Not only represent France in Olympic football and go for gold, but to do it on home soil, it doesn't come around very often.
Qualification is completed via region and is earned by competing in youth-level tournaments. The first teams to qualify were the USA and the Dominican Republic, both of which did so way back in 2022 at the CONCACAF Under-20 Championships. The bulk of the teams joined a year later, when 7 nations qualified out of Europe, Africa and Australasia. And finally, in 2024, South America and Asia finalised their representatives, as well as Guinea, who defeated Indonesia in an AFC versus CAF playoff.
I think that one thing about the Olympic Games, which is very important, is there is that curiosity to discover new athletes, new footballers, new country, and not have only the best of the best like the Champions League or like terms of football like the World Cup. I think it's like refreshing, and for me, you can make only Olympic Games for the medals. For me, the Olympics is like an atmosphere, a special event when you can discover a lot of things. So for me, the qualification path is, I don't know if I can say perfect, but it's quite logical for the Olympic Games.
Yes, so due to those squad rules, players naturally are desperate to have that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of going for Olympic gold. But unlike the World Cup and other tournaments such as the Euros and the Copa America, domestic clubs aren't actually obliged to release their star players for the Olympic Games. It can create quite a bit of tension between a club who don't want their assets to get injured and players with big dreams.
We should be balanced in that opinion, because we can understand the players who see an incredible opportunity, but we should understand as well, as it's not in the FIFA calendar, the position from the clubs. You say, okay, we have a lot of games each year. There is the risk of the injuries, but not only the injuries, because if they are going to the Olympics, they are not doing the preparations with the rest of the group. And there is another thing is that for some clubs, some players could make the Euros, then the Olympics, and then start the new season with the club, which is a huge risk and not too much time to rest and to think about anything else than football, and which is very important in the summer for the players. So we should be balanced between, we understand the players, we understand the clubs, we understand the federations, and it's not easy for everyone.
Well, one man who knows all about winning Olympic medals is former Nigeria captain Mikel John Obi. He won bronze for his country back in 2012 and lists the achievement alongside winning the Champions League with Chelsea. Mikel told us just what it means to win a medal for your nation at the Olympic Games.
Special. It's special. It's something that you don't feel how special it is until you actually do it. And for me to win it at the back of winning the Champions League in 2012, and then I won the African Cup of Nations as well. And for me, going into that tournament, it was a massive pressure because I was the leader of the team, pretty much. I was like, how do I lead the team to win this tournament? And to then be able to do it at the back of winning the Champions, it was something pretty special. And that's something that once you do it with your national team, it's an amazing feeling. It's tough. The likes of Drogba never won anything with the national team. George Weah never won anything with the national team. So if you could do it, it's pretty special. I will always rank the Nations Cup, my bronze medal, with the Champions League trophies. So for me, it's always special to win something with the national team.
The Olympics is a great opportunity for national pride, and we are counting down the days until Paris 2024. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag FootballNowOlympics. That's all we have time for from our studio here in Doha. We'll be back next week with the men's and women's Olympic draw and to take a look at who could be in contention for the gold medal. Bye for now.